Sorry if I look up here, that's because that's where my monitor is. Let's try this again. So hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video here on my channel. I don't like how I said here on my channel. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to another video here on my channel. For those who are new here, my name is Evan Andrews, and here on my channel we are talking everything from videography to photography and graphic design. Today is kind of a weird one. It's still Tuesday, but it's already 4:15 in the afternoon and I'm just now starting to shoot. My wife and son are at the movies right now. I think they were seeing the most recent Spider-Man movie or something like that. But I'm here today to kind of bring you a quick and simple intro tutorial on Adobe Premiere Pro. If you guys are interested in getting into video editing out there and need somewhere to start and you plan on using Adobe Premiere Pro, then this is going to be a pretty good tutorial for you to kind of just get acclimated to the interface and see where a few things are and how a few things work, and you can start playing around with it from there and suiting it better to your needs. So if you are new here, make sure that you like this video. Go subscribe to the channel right now where you can get all of my weekly releases every Friday morning at 8 a.m. All right, so now we're gonna just jump into the computer and get started on this quick walk around through Adobe Premiere Pro. Okay, so now we're in the computer and this is what you will see when you open up Adobe Premiere Pro. You will see a recent history of the things you've been working on. If you're brand new to it, you won't see anything here and it'll prompt you to create something. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to make a new project. And here on our new project, we want to give it a title. So I'll do tutorial. And then I want to hit this browse feature here and I want to make sure that I save it to a place where I'm housing everything for this particular project. You don't want to have everything all over the place. It'll get harder later if you need to go back and make revisions or changes and you accidentally delete stuff. You'll have stuff missing and it's just a big headache. So keep everything you can for each individual project inside a specific folder, and every project needs its own folder. So here for my purposes of this tutorial on my desktop, I have this folder that I'm using and I will just do that. So don't get into the next stuff. That is going to be for way later when you guys get a little bit more acclimated to using this software. So I want to hit OK here, and this is what you'll see. You'll see a variety of tabs up at the top, and these are all editable, basically workspaces that you can use to your liking and create faster workflows for yourself. So I highly suggest going through these, seeing what's there in the stock version, and then going through and kind of creating your own and adjusting them to how you would like. So I primarily only stick around in about 3 of them. I am in the editing, the color, and the graphics tabs, usually for most of my workflows for the things that I'm doing. Sometimes I'll get into audio stuff, but I can access everything through any of the other panels anyway, so it's kind of, you know, irrelevant at that point. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to import some clips into our project. So I want to double click in the project panel, and if you don't see the project panel, you can go to window and then projects here, and then you will see the available projects you have open. So click on that and it will bring up here. You're going to then want to double click here and then import a few clips that you have, or however many clips you have. There will be some time that Premiere needs to kind of look at these to create files for them and make them easier for you to work with inside of Premiere. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to have a place where we can edit these things, and that's going to be a sequence or a timeline. And there's 2 ways to do it. The easiest way, and this is the way that I suggest for beginners, is just drag and drop a clip in that you have from your imported clips that you just imported. So I'm going to import number 5 here. And as you can see, try and play through here a little bit, kind of choppy because I'm recording my screen this here, so it's kind of hard to show you, but you can play through there. The best way to press play and preview what you have in your program is going to be just pressing the space bar. That is going to then just play the timeline from where your playhead is at any given point. If you press the enter button, it will render out everything in your space, and then it will then play. Next, I'll show you the tool panel here. You will see in this vertical line of icons, this is our tools panel, and there's just really 2 that I'm going to kind of suggest that you use at the beginning and kind of look at the other ones as you go through. If you hit the letter C on your keyboard, you will bring up the razor tool. And what the razor tool does is it simply makes a cut at any section where you might click on your clip. So all I'm doing here is cutting this clip into pieces with the razor tool. To get back to the selection tool to be able to then click on maybe some of those clips is here at the top, or you can simply press the V right next to the C on your keyboard. So C will get you to the razor tool, V will get you back to the selection tool, and that's really it. Those two tools are just what you really need to get started in quickly cutting up or manipulating your clip. You can also drag the ends of clips to kind of shorten and lengthen them, but I suggest using the razor tool. Just scrub to where you might want to be in the clip, find where you want to cut, hit the C, cut it there, hit the V, go back, and then you can begin cutting out things and ultimately editing your video the way that you want. So those are the two tools that I would focus on right now. So the next thing that any beginner is going to want to know is kind of the effects and the way that we control these effects. So there's two different tabs that you can have open to do these two things, and we have an effects panel and an effects controls panel. If you do not see either of these, you can always go to Window and find them here with effects and effects controls. I have those next to my project tutorial because these are the three things that I primarily use when I'm editing. So effects is just like it sounds. These are all the different presets and effects that come inside Adobe Premiere. These are all of the presets and effects that come inside Adobe Premiere, and anything that you might add into it from third party later. You can find everything here. So you can find things like a drop shadow effect, and that'll put a drop shadow on any kind of object or text or something that you might have in your timeline. So another thing that you can do is come down to video transitions here and find something like the dissolve menu, and a simple cross dissolve will kind of fade between two clips. So I shortened down my one clip into just two pieces of it, from a piece at the beginning and a piece at the end, and you see here that when I scrub through it, you fade from one to another. So you can kind of do some cool things with even some just stock effects that come in Adobe Premiere Pro here. The effects panel is something that I would definitely, for beginners, go look through, test out, put different things on different things and see what they do. The only way that you're going to know what things do is by doing it, watching it, and doing it over and over again. It takes a long time, but eventually as you play with things, you will get a better understanding. So the next and really other crucial panel that I would suggest looking into in editing your videos is the effects controls panel, and again, that is found at the Windows tab and the effects controls. Every clip has an effects controls portion, and everything can kind of be edited the same way. You can edit the motion or the position, how big things are, the rotation of them. You can edit the opacity, and for those that don't know, opacity is how faded it is, maybe in or out. So you can adjust different things like that. You can also adjust the audio if there's any audio attached to the clips down here in this panel. These are just things that you can go through and play with. You'll see little icons like stopwatches. These are ways to create what we call keyframes, and that's how we animate things a more precise way. It's very tedious work, but as you get into Premiere and dive deeper into the different things that you want to learn, understanding what keyframes are and how they work is a great thing. I'm not going to necessarily go into that into this video. The effects panel here is really good to get to know because you're going to use it a lot, and you're going to see it across every clip that you drop in, and you're going to touch it every clip that you drop in. So once we are done with our video, after we've added in everything that we want to be able to turn it into something that we can then share, post, do whatever we want with. And the only way to do that is to export our project. So what I like to do in my workflow is I like to go to the beginning of my timeline and press the letter I, and that's going to mark your end point. And then I like to go to the end of my timeline and press the letter O, and that is going to mark my out point. So I have my in and my out point marked, and then I want to go File, Export, Media. Or a simple control is the Command button and the letter M. Okay, so once we get to the export screen, you'll see that you can drag through here and see what is going to export for our selection here. This clip is only going to be about just under 6 seconds. And for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to get into export settings and all of that over here on the right. But what I will do is we will just use the preset of YouTube 1080 Full HD. The number one crucial thing from this side and this panel that you will need to do is output it to that same folder that we created for this project at the beginning of the video. So what you do is you click the output name there, and then we want to go and find the folder that we have been using. So I've been using this one here. I'm going to name it test, and I'm going to save it. So now it's going to save it to that location in our computer, and from there you can hit export. From here it's just a waiting game. We have to wait however long the computer takes. If your computer is very super fast, it's going to take less time, but if it's an older computer, it might take more time. Things that make it take more time are kind of the length and how much effects and things that you did on the edit. This, because we didn't do much of anything but a cross dissolve, and it's only about 6 seconds long, it's going to be relatively short, and there we go. So what we now can do is we can navigate to our folder, find our test, video right there. So yeah, and there you have it. That is basically how you import footage into Adobe Premiere, cut it up a little bit and do some effects to it, and then export it into something that you can then watch. I wanted to make this video kind of short and simple just to give you guys the outline of things to do, and now you guys can go and play with it yourself. The biggest piece of advice that I can give you is just practice. I've been using this software for 10 years and I still maybe know 20% of it. There's a lot of things in it that I don't use and I don't care to use, so I haven't really bothered with them, and I'm okay with that because I get what I need to do done and I understand what I'm doing, and I'm able to create a workflow that I'm able to potentially train other people how to use and how to follow. So if you found this video valuable, make sure you go hit the like button. If you didn't at the beginning of the video, subscribe to the channel, get all the notifications to my weekly Friday releases. If you are into content creation, you do videography, photography, graphic design, or you're looking into getting into this realm, go check out all the rest of my videos on my channel, and come back next week where we will be going over something else. I don't know, maybe we'll do something graphic design related because I haven't done one in a while. So until then, I hope to see you guys there, and peace out.